Okay, so I hope my voice is reaching. Uh, we have in the previous lecture we have finished quadratic approximation method. Okay, so we will be continuing the approximation methods. Let us go to this slide. Okay, so in the last lecture. We tried to understand quadratic approximation method, and in this method we had 3 points, three consecutive points, x1, x2 and x3, and their corresponding function f1, f2 and f3. Okay, so this was the form of your equation, quadratic equation, in which we were trying to uh, calculate the constants a0, a1, a2. Okay, so this, I hope this was clear to all of you, and uh, your a0 was equal to f1, your a1 was f2 minus f1 upon x2 minus x1, your a3 was 1 upon x3 minus x1 x2 x 1 upon x3 minus x2, f3 minus f1 upon x3 minus x1 minus f2 minus f1 upon x2 minus x1. This term was equal to a1. Okay, so this term, yes, yes. Okay, okay. I will upload again. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry. I will upload again. Okay, if it is not working. Okay, so this term is equal to a1, right? Okay, so let us move. So then we took the first derivative of your quadratic equation and we equated it equal to 0. So using this derivative equating equal to 0, we estimated the approximate value of your x, which was given by x is x bar equal to x2 plus x1 upon 2 equal to a1 upon 2a. So this was our quadratic approximation method, and we tried to solve one example using your quadratic approximation method. Okay, so this yielded the value of x bar, which was nearly equal to your exact value. Okay, so this value of x bar we calculated using your or the approximate value of your optimum uh, x, which was equal to x was equal to 1.565. Okay, so if we see the difference between exact value and your approximated value, it is quite low. Okay, so these terms you have to remember a1, a2 and a x bar as well as a0. So a0 was equal to f1. So all these formulae will be needed in today's discussion. That's why I have repeated this. So let us move to the next method of approximation. There are two methods basically in approximation. One is quadratic, and second one is successive quadratic approximation method or estimation method. Okay, so how this method is different from the previous one? Actually, it is not different. It is an improvement of your quadratic estimation method. Okay, so this method is called successive quadratic estimation method. Okay, so let us try to understand this estimation method. In this method, we have some starting point, say x1. We have some starting step, say step size delta x. Okay, and we have function, some function fx. Okay, and how we are calculating the value of next point? This is given by x2 equal to x1 plus delta x. Okay, so say this your x1 is your starting point and delta x is your step size. Then we can calculate the next value of your x, which may be given by x2 equal to x1 plus delta x. Okay, so now you are supposed to evaluate the values of fx function at x1 and x2. So we are evaluating these values and we are getting some values, say 20, 50 or 50, 20, something like that, some numerical value we are getting. Okay. So after evaluating, what we are doing, we are comparing the results. We are comparing the values of fx1 and fx2. So in step 3, we are comparing these values, and how we are comparing. So if this condition is satisfied that fx1 is greater than fx2, if your fx1, since it in normally in all optimization algorithms we are talking about minimization problem. Okay, so if your fx1 is greater than fx2, then we compute the third term, which may be given by as x3 equal to x1 plus 2 delta x, or you can write as x2 plus delta x. Okay, so what does it mean? We are trying to equate 3 points at equal distance, because these x1, x2 and x3 will be now equidistance. Okay, so the distance between these 2 points will be delta x, and similarly the distance between these 2 points x2 and x3 will be delta x. So in terms of x1, you can calculate x3 equal to x1 plus 2 delta x plus delta x. So this is 2 delta x. And suppose in case your fx1 is less than equal to x2, then where will your x3 will lie? X3 will lie in left hand side, and in that case, what you are supposed to do, uh, you take third term, which is in the left side of your starting point. Okay, so in that case, you give x3 equal to x1 minus delta x. In second case also you are getting 3 point x1, x2 and x3. x3, x1 and x2. Okay, so this way you are getting 3 points. In previous case also, when fx1 was greater than fx2, you are getting 3 point x1, x2 and x3. Okay, so anyway we are supposed to find out 3 consecutive point x1, x2, x3, which are equidistant from each other. Okay, so from from one point, say from x2, these 2 points are equidistant. Okay, x3 is having delta x distance and x1 is also having delta x difference distance. Okay, so this will be minus and this will be plus, but these are at equal distances. Okay, so after this, as soon as you have calculated x1, x2 and x3, once you have identified x1, x2 and x3, this third step is completed. Now you are supposed to evaluate. Yes, anybody want to say something? Okay, yes. Yes. Okay, anybody else having the same question? Okay. So, let us try to understand that in quadratic approximation method, we need 3 consecutive points: x1, x2, x2, and x3. These 3 consecutive points. Okay. So what we are saying that in quadratic approximation method, these 3 points are located at equal distances. Okay. So say the difference between x1 and x2 is delta, then the difference between x2 and x3 should also be delta. This may be minus or plus, does not matter. So but the value should be the same. One will be positive and another will be negative, or this may be x1 minus x3 equal to delta. Any of these two distances must be same. Then only we can say that these 3 points are located at equal distances. Suppose I am drawing a straight line. There are 3 points, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so suppose this is x1, this is x2, and this is x3. Okay, so just a second. Okay, and suppose this is your function fx. Okay, this is your function fx. So for first condition, from step we have a starting point, we already know x1 and we know step size delta x. So we can calculate the value of x2. Okay, so this is value corresponding to x1, value of function at fx1. This is value of x2 corresponding to value x2. So this is fx2. And what we are trying to evaluate? We are trying to evaluate your whether fx1 is greater than fx2. So here we can see in this graph your fx1 will be obviously greater than fx2. Okay, so in that case, how we are identifying the value of next point, that is x3 is being calculated as this was x1 plus delta x was equal to x2. And in this case, what will be the value of x3? x3 will be x2 plus delta x, right? Okay, this is clear. How we will calculate the third point, which is at equidistance from x2. Okay, so this way we are calculating the third point x3 when this condition is satisfied. Okay, so let us take another case. So in another case, what is happening? Your fx1 is less than equal to fx2. So the slope of curve is reversed in this case. Okay, so let us now say in this case the curve is like this, and you have some value of x1, corresponding value of function is fx1. Okay, and your x2 you have calculated using x1 plus delta x. This is your x2. Your corresponding value is fx2. Okay, so here when you are minimizing your optimization function, you are supposed to move in the direction where you are getting minimum or less value of your function. Okay, so just try to see this condition. Your fx1 is less than equal to fx2. So this condition is satisfied. It means your optimum value is towards left. Okay, so in this case, how we will identify the third point in this direction? We will identify the third point which is at equidistance. So this will be in this left side and this will be at distance delta x from x1. Okay, so this way this value of x3, this, let us call this point as x3, and this x3 may be called as, maybe calculated as x1 minus delta x. Is that clear? Okay, so now since now we have calculated 3 points x1, x2 and x3. So and these 2 points are at equidistance. So we can calculate the minimum of these 3 points, minimum value of function at these 3 points. We have already calculated fx1, we have calculated fx2. Now we will evaluate fx3, and we will compute the value corresponding the minimum of these three. Suppose f3 is having less, or f2 is having minimum value, or f1 is having minimum value. Who is having minimum value? We will equate it equal to f minima, and the corresponding point corresponding to say suppose if your f3 is minimum, then point the value x corresponding to your fx3 will be called as your minimum point, x minimum. Okay, so okay, so now from this point we will identify which value is having minimum value. Now we can now we'll move to the step 5. In the step 5, what we are doing, since we are having three consecutive point x1, x2 and x3, we will calculate x bar using the formula which was given in your quadratic estimation method. So what was the formula? X bar equal to x2 upon x1 plus x1 x2 plus x1 upon 2 equal to minus a1 upon 2a. So using this quadratic approximation formula, we will calculate the value of your x bar. Okay, so in successive quadratic estimation, you will find that there are uh, some termination conditions are given, or some values are given, that your value of your x bar, that is the optimum value calculated using your quadratic estimation method, and the value of function which you have calculated using successive quadratic estimation, the difference of these two should be in some given range. Okay, say it should be less than equal to 0.1. Okay, or same is also in the case of your difference between x minima and x bar. Okay, so if these given termination condition are satisfied, you can uh, stop your algorithm, or this these steps, and you can compute the values of your uh, uh, x bar or x minima, which is having the least value as your best possible solution. Suppose out of your x minima or x bar is less, then you will say that your optimum value of x is x bar, and the corresponding value of function is your optimum value of your given function, or minimum value of your given function. Okay, so let us try to understand this algorithm using some example for better clarity. Okay, any doubt till now? Any question? I hope this was clear, that how we were calculating x1, x2 and x3 in the case of successive quadratic equation. Okay, so let us take the same problem which we took in the case of quadratic estimation method. The minimization of function fx equal to twice x square plus 16 upon x. The initial starting point we are taking as x1 equal to 1, and the step size also we are taking delta x equal to 1. For convergence parameter, use difference in x upon x should be less than equal to uh, 3 into 10 to the power minus 2. Similarly, difference in function f divided by f should be less than equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 3. So these are the termination conditions that the difference upon your value of x should be less than equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 2. Similarly, difference in function divided by function should be less than equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 3. So let us try to solve how we will be solving this particular problem using your quadratic estimation, successive quadratic estimation method. Okay, so let us call the first step, first iteration as iteration number 1, and we will simply calculate the next point, that is x2 will be equal to x1 plus delta x. So this is 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Now what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to calculate the values of function at x1 and x2. So the values of function at x1, you can put the value x equal to 1. So this is only 2 plus 16. So this will be equal to 18. Similarly, we can calculate the value of x2. So what will be fx2? What will be the value of fx2? How we will calculate? So this will be 2 into 2 square. So this will be 4 into 8. 8 plus 8 equal to 16. Okay. So this way fx2 is equal to 16. Now what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to compare the values of these function at x1 and x2. So here we can see fx1 is 18 and fx2 is 16. So your first condition is satisfied, that fx1 is greater than fx2. So how we will calculate the next point? This will be x3 equal to x1 plus twice of delta x1 x. Okay, so this is 1 plus 2 into delta x is 1, so this is equal to 3. So we have 3 points, x1, x2 and x3, and x3 is now equal to 3. Okay, now in step 4 what we are calculating? We are calculating the value of your function at point 3, that is x3. So this value is coming 23.33, right? So we have fx1 which is equal to 18. We have fx2, this is x1, this is fx2, which is equal to 16. So now we are supposed to calculate the minimum of, we are supposed to estimate the minimum of these three functions. So we can see which one is having minimum value. fx3 is 23, fx1 is 18 and fx2 is 16. So minimum of these three functions is equal to fx2. Okay, so the minimum value of x, your x will be, x minimum will be equal to 2, because x2 is equal to 2. So now we will move to the, we have calculated the minimum value of 2, and now we will move to the next point and next step. So here we are calculating the value of x bar using your quadratic equation. So in quadratic equation we know a0 equal to your a0 is f1. Okay, so this will be equal to 18, and a1, how we will calculate a1 equal to f2 minus f1. So your f2 is 16 minus f1 is 18 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, so here is x2 is 2 minus x1, so this value is coming minus 2. Similarly, we will calculate the value of a2. I hope all of you remember how we are calculating these values. These values we are calculating from your quadratic estimation method, which we discussed yesterday. Okay, so here the value of A2 will be 1 upon x3 minus x2 into f3 minus f1 upon x3 minus x1 minus a1. Okay, so these values are put. This is x3, this is f1, this is x3, this is x1 minus a1. A1 we already know, this is minus 2, so this will become plus. Okay, so this is coming around 4.665. Similarly, we can calculate the value of your x bar. X bar is x1 plus x2 plus x1 upon 2 minus a1 upon 2a2. Okay, so this is coming 1.714, right? I hope these all three values you will be able to calculate using your quadratic estimation method. So you since you have got the value of x bar is equal to 1.714. Okay, so we can calculate fx bar equal to 15.210. Okay, we have calculated this fx bar equal to uh, uh, fx bar equal to 15.210. Okay, so now we have 4 points. Let us try to understand this thing. We have x1, we have x2, we have x3. Okay, so x1 is equal to 1, x2 is equal to 2, x3 equal to 3, and the corresponding values of functions are 18. Then f corresponding to 2 is 16, corresponding to point 3 is 23.33. Okay, and then we have another point, that is x bar, which is equal to 1.714. Okay, so this will be somewhere here, x bar. Okay, so the value corresponding to your x bar is 15.210. Okay, so this will be slightly less than your x2. Okay, so your function will be something like this, right? Okay, so now try to understand your because this is a case of minimization. Which portion we should remove? The portion which is in the left hand side of your x2, or which is on the right hand side, or which is on the left hand side, because it is a case of minimization in which side we should try to find out the solution. Any student? Okay, so because we have got one value which is less than 16, so we will search your solution in the left hand side. So now what we will do, let us move. Okay, so okay, before that we will test for the this step we did not did. Okay, so I moved a step ahead. Okay, so once you have calculated this your x bar value, we will compare these values against your minimum value of function, that whether we should move ahead or not for searching another values. I moved ahead for searching values. Okay, so without checking this termination. Okay, so here for checking termination, what we will do, the difference between your function fx f minima minus fx bar upon fx bar should be less than equal to 0.3 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, so because this is obviously greater than your termination value, so we are moving ahead. And how we are moving ahead, we will try to understand. Okay, so as I told, since your optimum value will lie in the left hand side of uh, your uh, your x2. Okay, and what we will do, uh, now we will save our x bar, because your optimum is lying in the left hand side. So now we will relabel these points, and we what we will do, we will we what we are doing, we are relabeling these points. And how we are relabeling these points, let us try to understand. Okay, so uh, here we have your function, that is uh, that x, when we have value of x1, we have given that the new label x2 to your x bar value, that is your x bar has been labeled as x2. Okay, we have x1, we have removed your x3, we have already removed in the previous term, that because that was lying beyond your possible solution. Okay, so we have x1, we have x bar, so x bar we have labeled as x2, and your previous x2 will now become x3. Okay, I hope you are able to understand this thing what I did. Let me write again for clarity. Okay, so we have three values now: x1, x bar, and x2. This was in iteration number 1. Okay, for iteration number 2, what we are doing, we are relabeling these points. This is x2, sorry. Okay, we are relabeling these points. X will remain x1, and x2 x bar will become your x2, and your x2 will become your x3. Okay, because we have to identify 3 points. Okay, so now what we have done in iteration number 2, we have removed the portion which was not lying in your possible solution. So we have removed x value which is equal to 3. Okay, so now we have values x1 equal to x equal to 1, x2 equal to 1.714, which we calculated in your previous iteration. Okay, then we have x3 equal to 2. Okay, let us now calculate the corresponding values of your functions. So this will be f1, which we already know, this is 18. Then calculate the value of your function at x equal to 2, this we already know, this is 15.210, and f3 is equal to 16. Okay, so which one is having the minimum value? Obviously your f minima is having the minimum value, and x minima will be given, and this is put equal to x2. Okay, so this we have put equal to x2. Now move to the next step, that is the estimation of your x bar using your quadratic equation algorithm. Okay, so we will again apply the same algorithm, that is f2 minus f1 upon x2 minus x1 equal to your a1. Okay, so this way we will calculate again the value of a1. Similarly, we will calculate the value of a2, which will be equal to 1 upon x3 minus x1 upon x3 minus x1, 1 upon x3 minus x1 into f3 minus f1 upon x3 minus x1 minus into minus a1. Okay, so this way if you calculate, this will come around 6.671. Okay, so we have calculated a1, we have calculated a2, we already know a0 equal to fx f1. Okay, so we can calculate the value of your x bar. X bar will be your x2 plus x1. So x2 plus x1, this will be 1 plus 1.714. So this will become 2.714 divided by 2 minus a1 upon twice of a2. Okay, so if you solve this, this will come around 1.65. I hope you can calculate it easily. Then we have, since we have calculated the value of x bar, we can again calculate the value of function at this particular point. So this is fx bar equal to 15.142. Now again we will test for termination condition. So your minimum value is f minimum value of functions at the given point is 15.210 minus fx bar upon fx bar. So this value is again coming 0.0045, which is greater than your termination condition. Okay. So now we will do the same thing, and we will opt the again the two possible values. Okay, so here also in the case of your x2, this value is in the left side of your this point. Your now your value of x bar is 1.65. So again this value is from the left side of your x2. Okay, so we will eliminate this point, that is x3, and we will relabel these points. So this x2 will become your x3 in the next case. Okay, so here you can see your x bar has been labeled as x2, and the value of your x2 in iteration 2, which was equal to x2, is now x3. Okay, and this is your starting point x1, which is already in the left hand side. Okay, so let us repeat this algorithm, and we have values of function at fx1, fx2 and fx3. Out of these values, we can say which one is having minimum value. Your fx2 is having your minimum value, and therefore your x minima will be equal to x2. Again we have 3 points x1, x2 and x3. Okay, so out of these 3 points, what we are supposed to do, we are again supposed to calculate your x bar value of x bar using your quadratic approximation method. So we will again calculate the value of a1, we will again calculate the value of a2, we will again calculate the value of x bar. Okay, so now the value of your x bar is 1.6125. Okay, and the value of your fx bar is now the value of function corresponding to the corresponding value of x bar is equal to 15.123. Okay, so we have now two values. One is 15.142, and the value corresponding to x bar is now 15.123. Okay, so let us test for termination condition. First termination condition, that is the difference of function upon a minimum value of function. So 15.142 minus 15.123 divided by 15.123, which is coming equal to 0.0013. Okay, so your termination condition is satisfied, it is less than 0.003. The value for termination, we are also supposed to second condition, which was given as difference of x upon minimum value of x should be less than equal to 0.03. Okay, so let us check this condition. 1.65 minus 1.6125 divided by 1.6125 is equal to 0.23 0.23, which is less than your termination condition. This was 3 into 10 to the power minus 2. Okay, since both of your conditions are satisfied, you can terminate, and you will opt your solution as minimum of these calculated values. So which what will be your solution? Your solution will be x bar equal to 1.6125. Your fx, your optimum value of function at the optimum value of x bar is x is 15.123. Okay, so we can give this value as your optimum value. Okay, so we can this way we can calculate the values of your fx bar and fx, and since these two conditions are satisfied, so we will continue this algorithm till these conditions or the termination conditions are satisfied, or we if these termination conditions are not given, then we will test by default that the difference between these functions as well as the difference between your x bar and x minimum value should be in a this value should be very less or very small. Okay, so in that case only we will terminate your this algorithm that is called successive quadratic estimation algorithm. Okay, so this is all from my side. If there are any query, you can ask. Otherwise, we will stop here. Any query from the student side? Yeah, yes. Okay, okay. Suppose one condition is satisfying and another is not satisfying, right? So in that case, we will continue our iteration till your both conditions are satisfied. Okay, then we have to again do the same iteration, right? Any other question? Okay, in first step. Okay, this will be given, or you can choose arbitrarily any approximate value, right? You are asking about this delta value, na? So this is already given in your problem. This is your particular problem. So this is generally given. If it is not given, then you if your starting point is not given and some delta value is not given, then you can choose as per your convenience, because after practicing you are able to understand that from which point you should start, and what should be the value of delta x. So, because delta x equal to 1 is the simplest thing. Otherwise, if you take delta s equal to 0.5, 0.25, then for solving this equation, it will become quite complex. So for convenience, you can choose delta x if it is not given equal to 1 or 2, whatever as per your convenience, or you can choose it at equal to 10. So, but generally it is given. Given, I will also give in the examination for convenience. Okay. Yeah. Uh, Normally it is given. Otherwise, you can choose. You can start from 0 0 also if it is not given. Okay. If it is not given, you choose x1 equal to 0 and say delta x equal to 1. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Any other question? Okay, so if there is no question, the students who are not having any query, they can leave, and other who wish to ask questions, they can remain in the team. Okay, this is all from my side. I will stop here. Yeah, हाँ गुलशन. ठीक ठीक, हाँ पीडीएफ के लिए परेशान नहीं हो, है ना? ठीक है, आई विल चेक, आई विल चेक.